Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Could we ask the owner of the Hyundai with the registration number CY24VMGP and the owner of a BMW X3 246R37GP please move their vehicles as they are blocking the entrance to the ramp? Would really appreciate it if you move your vehicles. Hyundai CY24VMGP and BMW X3 246R37GP, move your vehicles. Also, we repeat, because we are under load shedding, please use the toilets second and the first floor only. Thank you very much.
Yeah, 1, 2. 1 and 2, 2. 2, 2. Two, yeah, hey. 1 and 2.
Double.
2 here. 1 and 2.
It's not usual that we're here to celebrate each other in a form of written word. It's not something that's prevalent in our culture. And I think just for the progression of where we are, with just that, is enough to start this with a big round of applause. It's definitely worthy of celebration because, an Englishman, Mr. Churchill, once said that the evil he'd done would never be noted because in his own words, he said, history will remember me well, for I intend to write it. And over years, that's what's happened. You go to school, from the time you get there, you get told about Jan van Riebeeck and the history of South Africa. From the point of view of those who wrote it. That's who our history represents. So years from now, 50, 100 years from now, we would have allowed people to tell the story of Portia Modise because she would have told it herself. And today we're here to celebrate. Oh, hello, Mamria. How are you? I see you. It's great to see you in support here. She wrote her own story. So you can talk about her football. You can talk everything you want. But as far as her story, just like most of us here need to start doing, let's document our own lives. Generations from today need to know who we were for who we truly are. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to start this off. And like I said, I'm terribly sorry we're starting so late, but I've already had a pre-conversation with her. It's worth the wait. Let's begin by welcoming the author of the book and publisher from Gingerport Publishing, Ubandile Sikwane. A big round of applause for Ubandile Sikwane, please. The man that authored the book, that wrote the book. You can have this one right
All right,
here.
thank you so much.
And then I'm told, Uguti, the person of the moment, because you must understand, in this new world that we live in, we need to be very sensitive as to how we call people. So the person of the moment has a special way to which they would like to enter. And if I may please ask that we do the honor of something that wasn't done for her when she retired. She never got to get a standing ovation of people looking at her and saying, there's Portia. So if we could all rise as we welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the author, the co-author of From Portia Modise with Love, Portia Bashin Modise. She's waited her whole life to get people standing and appreciating and loving her for who she is. Let's give her her moment. Let's let her take her time. You do, guys, as you know, that there is load shedding at the moment, so that special entrance, we will wait for it. It will happen. It's going to happen through those doors right there. Load shedding has taken the capacity of the place and the building that we're in, provided to us by BMW, of course, which we do appreciate, but we'll give her a moment. Too many times, and I've read this book, and I can tell you that too many times when Portia's wanted a moment, challenges like this very one have come and taken that moment from her. Hayi namhlanje. Not today. Devil, you will not win, because we will wait for her. We are live on YouTube, Portia Modise with Love. We are going to be, of course, on SABC as well. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Portia, number 10, Bashan Modise. A very special moment. Once again, to all those in attendance, thank you so much for making the time. Thank you for making the dream of an African child a reality by just being here and lending her your ear. It is going to be a conversation, so if you don't mind, I would, appreciate it if we could all be in it. Work has gone into this. Let's all be in it. Let's live in this moment. Let's share in this moment, as I did. A beautiful book that's been written, but before I even go to the co-author, Portia, of all the things I can think of Upashin doing, writing a book was never one of them. Why a book?
Like I said, Jens, I had a huge journey with South African people, and the misunderstanding that they had about my passion in the game. I think I needed to write a book so they could stop misunderstanding me and understand why I'm voicing out. There's a lot of parents out there that will have kids who will pray for Banyana Banyana. I want them to get the feel if they're not gonna fight now for their kids, their kids, they will experience what I've experienced, and the pain that I share in that book is really what they want their kids to go through. I think the reason ends it's that it's a wake-up call to South Africans to say, do you really want to see your daughter playing football, doing what she loves, going through what Portia Modise went through, scoring 1 or 2 goals? What will be the best other achievement that other players will do right now? If me not scoring 1 or 2 goals, I'm still talking like this, Joe. I don't see any other player right now raising my achievements. It's still gonna be a build-up. So in that build-up, what is it that we build for these young girls that are coming after us? Are we building a pain, or are we building a better future for them?
Because of you're more than welcome. A big round of applause. Because of what Portia has been vocalizing the last couple of weeks, it almost feels like she's angry with football, like she's angry with her past. But I want to start this off with where it all began, where it was love. I asked her to read this out earlier in her own words.
I'm not good with reading. I was playing football.
So she asked me if I could, and this is the introduction to the book. If you may please indulge me. I loved you in spring. I loved you in my spring. When I was fresh, when I first glimpsed you with my innocent eyes, it was a church. I remember when I first loved you. Sunday school. It might have been, but I don't quite remember. I was a spring chicken, but I remember though that I loved you. That's how poetic you speak about football.
I think football is poem. Football is life. I think me conducting my life through football, I used to take the situation that I will find in football when I'm playing football, then I'll find those situations out of the field. Then I'll solve it the way I'll solve my situation in the game.
And that brings me to the title of the book. Talk to me about how you came about to this title, From Portia Modise with Love.
I think the passion, Joe, the love of the game that I have, I couldn't let go. I struggled. I didn't let go just because I wanted to. I think I let go just because of the strong woman that I am. They didn't really stand this woman.
Bandile, talk to us through the process of writing a book with Portia. What was the actual process? Did she send you voice notes of a story? Did you guys sit down and you wrote her stories? How did you do it?
Okay, so I get a call from her management, and Portia wants to write a book, and her management says to me, "You don't have to worry about Portia. Just speak to her on the phone." And remember, at this time, I think we're in lockdown.
Yeah.
We're in lockdown, so we're not meeting face to face. So we get on a Skype or Zoom or one of those things, ne? And then I'm like, "This is Portia. I've been a fan for a long time. Let's go." Portia just tells her story. She just consistently. So would sit for hours, just hours. Portia would tell her story, and I would sit and listen and ask questions, and she would just, she would just talk, and then we'll stop the session and pick up the next day. She hasn't forgotten where she was yesterday. She picks up from there, continues, runs with the story. It's just, so it's been hours and hours of just talking, refining the story, asking questions. I mean, she's very much involved, In fact, a lot of those interviews that we conducted on the Zoom and whatever, they are actually the content of the book themselves, because they're just so amazing,
I must tell you, I'd like to think of myself as a learned reader. I've never seen anything like this. So it's not only a book, an audio book that you can listen to, it's also very visual in that there are videos in every chapter where Portia speaks in her own voice, which is actually quite brilliant. Portia, what did you think? Uyifundile?
Yeah, ngiyifundile ngiyibhala ngiyifundile after.
Awuyifundanga Patlini. Mashina uyifundanga.
Ngiyifundile ngiyibhala ngiyifundile after. Mama, I did read the book, and I feel I was not going to ask anyone else to really write my book the way you or Andile wrote my book. I was so happy, but there was moments where I will read and I will feel sometimes he's sweet. Sometimes I wanted to be hard on those moments, but I think I enjoyed the way Bandile wrote my book, and I'm very grateful. And yeah.
Push, even now when you're saying you wanted him to be hard, are you mad at football? Are you mad at how football treated you? Are you angry? Are you hurt by football?
I don't think I'm mad at football. Football is just a round thing that was created from inkomo engasazi ukuthi inkomo yiphi isikhumba. So I'm mad of the leaders of football not respecting the athletes while they had power. Those are the people that betrayed us, not football. That thing loved us. It made us to show people who we are. So that thing doesn't talk. The people ran football. I think they made me to be mad at them because they were not parents. This is me thinking, Gucci, if their kids, they were playing in the same team that I was playing Koyona, they were going to treat their kids the way they treat us. They were going to really give their kids the treatment that they really give us. We had parents too. When we left home, our parents believed, Gucci, we're going to be taking over. Other parents, they will take over on us to raise us on the camp. But those parents betrayed us. They didn't care. The only thing that they care about, it was positions more than us.
And of course, Portia speaks in detail of the treatment that she talks of now, which I'm going to get to in just a bit. But I want to go back a little bit to young Portia falling in love with football, and then there's obviously an identity crisis that comes with that because I'm a girl, but here I am loving this thing that is predominantly just men playing it, boys at the time. How do you reconcile that as a young girl?
I think Andile, I didn't have a meaning of football. I thought football was just football. I didn't think football had a gender. When I started to play women, when I was playing with guys, it was nice. Because I didn't have any fights. I was dominated by the men, and they control the game. They will fight my fights. They will fight what they believe they deserve. And I will always be happy because whatever that they get, I'll get too. But when I started to play for women's football, I started to get abused. I started to feel good where I'm in the wrong space. I started to see Gucci. This game is like Mamel has got a gender. As much as I was young, thinking Gucci just playing this round thing. But when I came to women's space, it was like, wow. I wish I was a man. I really didn't want to be in that space. Cause you know when you play with women, some women they tend to be soft. Some women they tend to believe that someone is doing us a favor to be in that space. So they will have to hide themselves and make sure they stay in a good place in order for them to be in the team. So you find me a different woman that was raised by men, that played with men. Then I come to this space, then I don't understand why these women, they can't stand for themselves. Then what makes me different in that space?
You guys are seeing a very, rooted tree that's grown branches and is stronger and can speak stories. But once upon a time, it was a whittle, blow in the wind type of tree. There was a softness in Portia that obviously has had to be hardened by the circumstances that she has had to come across. When you go back to a young Portia who has to go home, not knowing, and for the first time in this book, you articulate your gender crisis at the time.
Yeah.
That's how you put it. Who am I?
Yeah.
Why do I like to play with boys and wear pants?
Yeah.
And what does that mean for me at school? Talk to me about that thing, Yoguti. More figure school in but
I think when I was still in primary when I discovered Guti, I have a problem as a woman wearing a dress. I needed to wear a cheap dress. Cheap dress, ukupula masogisi, ufaka mapakania, So for me, that was so difficult to do. You can ask my mom, we used to fight. Like every day, my mom used to sleep early, then I'll sneak to her room and steal my trousers and put it in the school bag because they don't check my school bag. Then I'll know who takes any bazong togisi rogolabo. By the time you put man keep it progolam nyas dogela, figura nente ningi nyas kolwen. Man figure kolwen. Of course, my mom thinks you go to push you hambe atoge itim dress, right? But man figure eskolweni, I'm like. Portia ungena esikolweni we team dress we ikuphi team dress now bele bangibuyisele ekhaya kubani kumzali jo and umzali ngimdojile ngafaka incaza yabo. So now mengibuyela ekhaya esikolweni bathi hamba landa umzali wakho yabo. So I knew my mom wouldn't talk for me. My mom doesn't understand this thing. Then my mom had friends that he used to grow up with, and they were gay uncles. Ne? So now I'm like, then I'm like, I need to go to these uncles because they will tell my story better than my mom at school. Because when they act like girls, I act like a boy. So they went to school. Then when they go to school, I think they made my principal understood, Gucci, it was not my choice. It's something that I was born like this. And in army, I'm struggling to really make people understand Gucci new ban. And I remember when I got to a national team, I find people abafana nami. I'm like, wow. Kanti bakhona abagay njengami. All right. Then I see abokhaba. I'm like, oh. Nabo babhuti bakhona. Then I started to ask questions. Ukuthi, guys, how do you do it? How do you conduct your life like this? And Abokabo started to share because they were seniors.
Yeah.
Then we have our leaders when they come, when we have AMA meetings, our leaders, they will come and we need to have AMA interview and they will start to say, you need to say you have a boyfriend. I'm like, boyfriend? Who's having a boyfriend here? Because now I'm seeing my seniors starting to say, yeah, we need to say we have boyfriends. I'm like, I don't have a boyfriend. No. I don't know what his boyfriend is.
But hold on. It was close. She nearly did have a boyfriend. Ubanuzi.
Oh, no, when I grew up, my mother.
You want to hear this? Trust me, you want to hear this. Ubanuzi.
Who's that?
Who's that? Ubando.
My mom had a friend. It's like a cousin. So I'm not sure my mom goes to me a cousin. I'm good to So my mom, every time Uzet, when he comes in our home, my mom will be like, Posh, you know Uzet, I'm letting go. I'm funing go. Then come on, I'm hambe, like his hambies.
I need a mic. Can I get a mic? Can I please get a mic? I want to speak to Mama Joyce. She's here. She needs to explain to us who Tubanu said. I'm going to come down. Portia's mom is here. Big round of applause for this amazing, amazing woman. Ma, ngicela uzoma nami la. Ma, ubani uzet? Oh, sorry, Martin. There we go.
Yeah, so uzethi umamam no gogo kazethi kwakungama friends so uzethi ubaba kazethi ngangimbiza malume mina so uthe uzethi make khula ngabona ukuthi uye ongathatha uPortia abe nokho
Hayi khipha. Yini lebo ethanda ngoZet particularly?
uzethi ebethanda isikolo uzethe bengadlali ibhola bengazi ukuthi uzokhipha uPortia ebholeni.
Come on, guys, a big round of applause for Mama Joyce. I am told that load shedding is going to be finished. Oh, we're going to go out of it in about 15 minutes. When that does happen, the electricity will go off for about a minute. Sorry, I'm so teary, I'm laughing at it. So when that does happen, we'll have a 1 minute break while we wait for normal electricity to take over from the generator. But in the meantime, me and Mrs. Zet will carry on here. And I think this is an important story to be told, although we're laughing about it. But when you look at what's happened in the world and how prevalent it is now that people are living more who they are, and our society is a lot more now accepting than what it was when Portia Modise was a young girl trying to figure herself out. Portia, yes, you love football. Yes, you like to wear pants. But when does that say to you, I'm actually gay and I like women? When does that dawn? When does that light switch on?
I think even when I started, I was not even sure which I like women because I was not even sure how to approach them. You know, because now you're starting to think when you have to approach women, they'll be like, but you are a woman. Then I think being around my seniors, Abokabo, the people who lived this life under the carpet.
Cabo, Cabo, where are you? One, two. Cabo, number one, wow, umtana. Ukuthi atshela abantu ukuthi une-boyfriend. We have this mic on, please. Is that one on? One, two. There we go.
Hey, Andile. To be quite honest, lenja le. Kahle. Yena uye ozala lezinto sizifunda kuye.
Nisifunda kuye.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like ngathi I'm super proud kahle
Yeah.
to have walked the journey no Portia. Like ngicabanga ukuthi her life ngiyazi like the palm of my hands. Yabona. And like we've been in dark spaces together. And yeah, I think she learned a lot from me. As I was the most skillful player and the top goal scorer in the nation.
Own it.
So, mina no pasha masise campaign, we were the naughty ones. We was the like Veronica Pewa, Joanne Solomons, you know. And Spetus pasha, like you say energetic, she comes to the team and she wants to know what's happening in the national team. So I'm telling you, lava was as pandel, as holy mara, as pusher. Yeah, and then in the midst of everything, I think like the journey we walked together, like it was like super great and like yeah. Nathi siyithole endleleni sasigibela lesitimela sahamba naso.
Ladies and gentlemen, please a big round of applause. Thank you so much. And these stories are important to tell because there's a mother somewhere, there's a father somewhere who's got a son, who's got a daughter, and they have absolutely no idea how to deal with that. Mom Joyce, nangu mntwana ufika kuwena, ungasukuma. Ufika kuwena, ukhule emandulo. La esikhathini ungakazi uyibona into enje. Uthi kuwena mina ngithanda amantombazane. Eyintombazane naye.
Yo.
We touch and the reason I'm asking Mama Joyce for you that might want to know, in the book, she speaks about how she's not sleeping under a bridge right now, like many that have the same conflict, simply because her mother said it's okay. Simply because her mother said, I accept you as whatever it is that you are. And even in all of that, here's her mother now sitting and watching her live that life.
Yes.
But it can't have been difficult. It can't have been easy. It can't figure when.
Yeah, ayizange be lula mayifika kimi. Ngathula zange ngimphendule makethi kimi. Mama mina ngiso. Kwaku December makasho njalo. Mina ngahamba ngaye edrobheni ngayomthengela i2 piece, ngamthengela amakwayikwayi. Ngamthengela amakawusa amade amhlophe.
And ngaleso sikhathi ngithe ngicela ifila. Ngicela ifila nejini ne. Because me and my friends we planned ukuthi ngeChristmas sigqoka ifila, iteki, nejini nekipa. Nangu mama uyongilandela i2 piece yengwenya.
Ngathenga le 2 piece yengwenya ngangihamba nomamkhulu wakhe umama kaLusha. Sathenga le 2 piece wathi usile lo mntana uzayinxiba le 2 piece uzayinxiba. Masifike endlini siyambiza Portia nana waza kumama wasuzobona impahla wavela wazibona wathi waphuma walanda ibhruku elingaka elakhi.
Guys. Please take a look at this. Where are the screens? Oh, there we go. If we can capture this camera here, I don't know what camera number is that.
The yellow one.
There's Portia in a yellow 2-piece with the Ngwenya print in the middle. Which uyigqokile ma.
uyigqokile wayigqoka ngenkani ekhala sasithengele nomntana kamzala umntana kamzala wethu loya
Bamecha.
ya bamecha hayi wangathi uyajabula kodwa zange liphela ilanga wayikhulula wayilahlela
Kata umtshephi.
Azame angizithanda ithombe zakudala because I believe ukuthi that time I didn't have a freedom. I was suppressed from my parents.
It can't be easy to take all of that. Number one, the responsibility of telling this LGBTIQ plus story. Number two, to be responsible with it and tell so much in just a couple of pages.
So this was one of the biggest challenges. Well, two biggest challenges, as you can see, Portia. So you can't keep, and we're constantly laughing on the phone, and it doesn't feel like this is an interview, right? Dead laughing all the time. So you have to re-interview because it was a comedy show the first time around. So it was difficult to get through some of the stuff. Portia tells great stories. Hence, we decided, you know what? She needs to tell her own story. This is her story. We need to show the world who Portia is and how she tells the stories. Whether she's telling a story about her getting shiboboed, which happened like 7 times. Just kidding. Her getting shiboboed or whatever. These are her stories that she wanted to tell. But it was a very difficult challenge. This particular issue was a very difficult challenge. And how do you handle responsibility as a writer?
Yeah.
And how do you communicate it in a way that is befitting of the subject here?
So Portia then moves and finds, like she said, Abokap, who then she feels, I'm in a safe space here. I finally found a piece of home. I finally found people that are like me. So that was one battle won, but the beginning of another battle. When you think about when Abu Amanda, Abu Portia played, this is not in the 60s and 70s. I've sat with legends of the game, Abu Max Maponyana, Abu Sporo Magena, who played back then in the 70s and 80s. And they'll tell you horror stories about how much they were getting paid. But to read in black and white the next challenge, the next hurdle in Portia's life. Ben Khola Madin, more figure upon number one. What are the expectations? Because now you're playing for the national team. Financial expectations, what are they?
To tell the honest truth, I remember when I get my first call-up was for under 19 Ibasitsana. And when I became a captain Ibasitsana. And I thought Kobasitsana we're not getting paid because we're young, we don't have to get paid. But I started to realize, but we're working here. We're playing for the national team. We need to get paid, Then, while I was still processing that, trying to figure it out how we can fight this, we were called Amantombazana. Then I didn't like that name. I was like, Amantombazana. Then I thought, can we find a name that will suit us, that will relate with people? Then we came Nekamalegaba Sitan. Then I get a promotion, I go Banyana Banyana. When I get Banyana Banyana, I find senior players. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because senior team, I'm believing I can't get the very same treatment that I'm getting under 19 while I'm in a first team. Only to find out it's even worse in the first team. Then I'm asking my seniors, why you guys don't talk? Hey, you can't talk here. If you talk tomorrow, they're not gonna call you. Then I'm thinking, so how are we gonna voice out if we can't talk? If I talk tomorrow, they will kick me out. Then I'm like, how much are we getting paid? If I'm not mistaken, it was 25 rand in a cabo. It was 25 rand. We were in HPC. Not in HPC. Go to Google Picabo as HACE. Where we sleeping, Joe? Ngati we are soldiers. Ngati si say camping. We were gonna be choose. ukuthi are we fit enough to be soldiers before they could put us in a proper hotel. Then we needed to queue with students. You come from the training session, you train twice a day. Then when you go to eat dinner, there's a line of students that you need to wait for before you go dish your dinner. Then your rooms are so cold. Ingubo zakhona ngathi zasejele yazazi. Let's just lumayo. Then I'm like, what's going on, guys? Like, why can't we fight for this? It's like, no, you can't fight. When you fight, you're not going to be in the national team. I'm like, no, I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight, and I'm going to find the strategy. I'm going to find the strategy how to fight. Then I realized, Gucci, us fighting without winning, hey, these guys, they have power, man. They chase us, man. Then I'm like, okay, I need to work harder to be the best player so I can earn a voice. Then I compromised my childhood. I'll train 3 times a day at home, 2 times. I always wanted, when I get to the camp, I wanted to be that player that you can't ignore. When you can't ignore me, now you need to talk to me. Because when I score goals, then I come back, I'm like, can I get paid? Then
Yeah?
Then when you say, Portia, what did you bring? I'm like, I have 6 goals. We have a win. Can we get paid? Then I knew I started to create a problem, because even the women that they were surrounding us, they didn't like me just because I'll be like, we deserve better. We deserve better. They will walk in a room like this, and it will be difficult for even us to laugh. We'll be so quiet, we can't even pinch each other. When I pinch Kabo, I'll be like, I'm pinching on Portia. You know? Then I'll be like, no, man, this is not proper. This is abuse. But that time, we didn't really understand how to fight this abuse. Then when I started to score goals, I'm like, can we have a better daily allowance? We started to get 100 rand. 100 rand in it. Then we started to get him patlas about Dr. Kumalo. Melesis chunge, me before siyodlala. Udoctor mina ngithanda utsikitsiki bamdonsile utsikitsiki nasi skipa siranile ngayi. Then I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, basilethele tracksuit yakhona ne ihamba la. Mele ngigoqe so ukuthi izingilingane u extra large ngasikhathi ngi small ngina 13. I go to the physio, the colors they will walk in, whites walk in. My physio doesn't wear any gloves. Then a black person walk in, my physio wear gloves. Then I'm like, what is this? Then I knew which I was a powerful player. Then I was like, I know they'll want me to play. I'm not going to the physio if the physio is gonna wear gloves to black people. Then when they changed that, then I was like, can we get a better allowance? Then they said the better allowance could be 200 rand.
So hold on. It would sleep, I mean, but nigga.
Cash, baba. You know, you're two friends make a party school bag, we wanted to steal that school bag because it was full of cash, and we knew we can't get this cash.
So 50 rand, 10 rand, what it would sleep.
Mamela, sometimes we'll plan how can we steal this school bag? Because we wanted that cash, because that cash was really not coming to us. So that 200 rand, they will pay us cash. Sometimes we really don't get it. They say they don't have money.
Kanjalo.
Net ganjalo. Then when it's a game bonus, I remember it was 1,000 rand or 500 rand. 1,000 rand if I'm not mistaken.
And you're speaking to the male players. What are they getting?
Male players, most about 60. boma 70, signing on fee, coming on camp. But all about 20, 30. Mina, when I come to camp, hi Posh, hi. So now this is me. I'm like, hey man, what's going on here? Like, what's up? Because I wanna drive my own car. Pumemi kukwini. You know, I was raised by shacks. I was raised by a disabled mom in those shacks. So how I'm gonna build my mom a house? How I'm gonna treat myself as an athlete to be a better athlete if I can't even afford myself as an athlete? But let me tell you, women footballers, I think when we went to camp, Nabokabo Bati, okay, weight. Of course, I'm okay weight because when I go home, I eat pap, cabbage, umroho. I can't even buy myself proper food because I don't get paid. But when I get to the national team, they'll be weighing you. What did you eat? What do you want me to eat because you don't pay me? I need to eat what my family provides. And I need to cut it short if bang pagadi papel for my diet. And there was a proper way to have a diet. If we were getting paid like Bafana, I was going to be able to treat myself as a professional player.
I don't want to get too much into these stories because then I'm giving you the entire book. And I want you to go get the book. It's called From Portia Modise with Love. What are your, if you think about career highlights, what would you say is my career highlight? Like, this is the one thing that if somebody says, who's Portia in football, I'd say, Nai.
I don't know. To tell you the honest truth, I think my achievements, my fights in women's football, seeing other players making it today, playing overseas, you know, seeing other players driving, saying they have houses today. I think for me, that is my that will be my achievement, because when I look back, it still pains me to see some of the players like they don't even have a car, they don't have anything to show. And that was me saying, yo, when I stop football, I'll look like these ones. No, I don't want to look like these ones. And I don't want the future to look like me. You know, I need to do something. Yes, I know, Gucci. A lot of people don't like me. Anyway, I'm not doing this to be liked. I don't want anyone to like me. If they didn't like me when I was really scoring goals, right now it's not about liking, it's about doing the right thing. Because when I see about Tembi Khatlane today, I'm like, Tembi Khatlane, me lahlale ku mention yakhe jo wahlale so abukele La Liga. You know, when I'm sitting in one couch, there's 5 nephews of me, bayang pusha. Ang sabonakal nokuthi ngimdala in that house. Because I failed, kahle kahle. I'm not sure ukuthi I failed or the people failed me. My football people failed me. Because I wanted to be the best aunt ever to my nephews. I wanted to be the example to my nephews. But I can't. When they look at me, they see now a useless aunt because I'm occupying their space at home. I can't buy myself a house. Then they start to ask, good Posh, can't you didn't work? I'm like, I worked. I worked, but I didn't realize while I was working, I was volunteering. I thought I was working to have a better future than many volunteer. But I forgot, Guti, I played with my seniors that they did volunteer. Who am I to get a different life afterwards? Then I was like, yes, I could have 1 or 2 goals. I could be the best striker in Africa. If I didn't get me now what I deserve, I'll die knowing the generation that comes after me will get what Mina didn't get.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, come on. That right there is the sort of stability, the sort of Amanda that this country has been built on. When you look at the struggle heroes, This is exactly what they were built on. I'm not talking about those now. I'm talking about those that died in the 70s and in the 80s fighting for this country. All they have is stories of how they fought. Nothing else. Hopefully that is not your story, Portia.
If it have to be my story, let it be. I know which I'll die for a good cause. Because end of the day, my sisters, they have daughters. My brothers, they have daughters that one day, they'll follow my footsteps. And this is me, I'm thinking, if my nephew wants to play football, I will never be a good example because this is me. It will be like I'm jealous when I will tell my nephew, which you're not going to go there. But my nephew will be seeing my jerseys on the wall and say, why you played but you don't want me to play? I don't want to share these stories. I want these stories to change. So my nephews, when they want to play, I say, go baby girl, go play. Go do what you love. You know?
Portia, I don't want to give out too much of what we've got to do. How do you encapsulate the book? If you had to write a paragraph about what this book is, what would you say?
I think the book it's for me, in my head, it's very simple. It's about Portia finding herself, and then Portia being herself, and then Portia being a legend and leaving a legacy for the next generation and changing women's soccer for the better. So those are the three things that I would highlight this book for. You know.
I'm going to come around and take some questions. But before I do, this is in the book called The Final Whistle. And she says, if you get permission, can go with phone.
Yes.
I loved you in spring. In summer, our love was most hot. The desire, the hunger, the careless words and actions. I still loved you.
Is it going to pay the rent, my child? As a child, that's the first thing you have to overcome as an individual. Am I good enough to tell my family I am good enough to play this sport? What I am going to appreciate from all of you, whether or not we have the opinion that Portia requires to get where she gets to, you listened to what she said. You are all parents. You have a daughter, you have a son. Don't choose for your child. Support your child.
A big round of applause. I think that's an important point being made there. And thank you very much, my brother. I think we have heard you. We are running a little bit out of time. Ma'a.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Andile Dlamini, and I am the current goalkeeper of Banyana Banyana.
Come on, a big round of applause. A big applause for two reasons. She's got a beautiful name, number one. Carry on.
Firstly, I was fortunate or blessed enough to have shared the same room, even though you were not my roommate, but you were always in my room because your friend was Togozile Mdaweni at that time, always together in camp. And my highlights of your career, it was when I told you at night that you need to score your 100th goal tomorrow in Namibia. And you're like, yeah, and you know, when she scored her 100th goal, I taught her a celebration, but she didn't do it. She went the other way, and then I was like, Portia! She turned, she was like, oh, go on, Jen. And I appreciate you for telling your story the way you want to tell it. And I'm motivated by it. And I think people need to change how actually they think, because I always say it doesn't mean that you need to actually go overseas to be the best in South Africa. Why am I saying this? Because there's a whole lot of players that have achieved so much that are in South Africa and are underlooked. And I believe that you have paved that way for each and every footballer in South Africa. You have paved the way for me.
I'm confident enough today to stand and speak about you because you made sure that you
You were
pulled me.
getting paid, sir.
Yeah, you made sure I was getting paid. And your story is not different from any other black child. It's also my story, you know, and I think that you speaking up and you paving this way is creating a whole lot of opportunities for growth. You are saying to sponsors, hello, don't overlook, go to also amantombazane and sponsor girls, not only men. Why is it that Andile Dlamini should have a glove sponsor and not a boot sponsor? Stand up and, come on guys, have you seen Portia Mdise's car?
We see you, BMW.
Damn. And I'm extremely proud of you. I'm extremely proud of you because you deserve it. You've worked extremely hard. No one has ever scored a goal like yours at the Olympics. I still say it's my favorite goal of all times, and it's forever going to be. You are a wonderful woman, and you embrace who you are, and you have paved that way for all of us, and I'm extremely proud of you, and I can't wait for more things to happen in your life and for more things to happen in women's football. And I pray for change. I pray for success in each and every footballer in South Africa, where I stand proud and look at my mother's house and say, yeah, I built that. And I know that it is going to happen. It's just that people need to stand up and actually support women's football, and not only support women's football by just speaking, but by putting the money in and making sure that players also benefit, not only sponsorships and being seen on TV or whatever brands benefit, but also players benefit from everything. So thank you so much, Portia, for changing women's football. It is going to go higher and higher, I promise you. We will work extremely hard and you will do the talking. Thank you.
Abo Andile, siyakhuluma.
Hello, Anda.
Hey, Toki.
Sanbonani.
Hello, folks.
Hey, Pasha.
Hello, Mzansi.
Portia.
Hayi nyakwazi ke wena.
Ngazigani.
Uyathanda ukuba no jealous nyana.
Yo, guys, good evening, everyone. Pasha, thank you so much for bringing everyone together today. I think the most important thing is to really try and change the stereotypes. The conversations that we're having now is you branching out into business. I think that's the next step what Andile is talking about, which you fought, your way through to make sure that we reap the fruits, that there are platforms that expose us to better opportunities as female footballers. I spoke about your leadership downstairs, Uguti. I think from the onset, whether you wore the armband or not, you still led from the front, and that was not just only talking about the challenges that we had, but to make sure that we were okay in camp under your wing. So I think the next step for me is that you probably, Tembi, are the only two female athletes I know that have a book, football players that have books, and I think for us, it's just encouraging that we need to tell our stories, curate the right conversation, be a bit more progressive as well in the conversations that we're having, because like I said, this is a business investment for you, and I think as athletes, we want that financial liberation. We get to where you are, where we're endorsed, where we can have these sort of sittings, and I think you continue to pave the way, and we're just so grateful, like what Andile said, to have shared the change room with you. Just your presence on its own has just been really encouraging. So all the best.
I'm going to take one more because we have run out of time. Please go for it.
Hi, my name is Mzansi. I am from Mzansi, Portia. This is not a question. I just wanted to thank Portia for showing this conference that being a woman will also. As we speak in a battle with a big conference, and looking at Portia right now, I appreciate the fact that I know because she can show Uti the fact that you are a minority or they see you as a minority doesn't mean Uti you don't have a voice and that you can't speak for generations after you, because with Portia standing in front of us today, it shows Uti, you know what, she is making a big difference, and that her choices do not mean Uguti her life is not valid. Thank you, Portia.
Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Like I said, guys, this is an appetizer. This is just a taste of what this book has to offer. Like I said, there's an audio-visual part of it, and I was saying to her earlier, I drive my little girls to school every morning. I have 3 girls, and we're playing it, and I had to explain the intricacies of life and people. But hearing your voice, they, even as young as they are, could hear your strength in your fight. And I am grateful for that, because you made conversations in my house easier to have. And because of you, if those conversations ever need to be had in my house, I'll know how to have them. Because I want to be sitting there looking at my daughter here, regardless of who she is. And I'm grateful. Thank you very much. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, if I could please ask the brand manager at Mzansi, Andrew Mwabelo, to please come and talk to us for a couple of seconds. I mean, they were gracious enough to be one of the sponsors here this evening. Please do come up. There is a mic available. If we can have one mic there for Mr. Andrew Mwabelo, who's got a special gift that he'd like to.
Testing. Musara Marabo Andile Nube, Galaboa. It's Africa month, guys, so I just needed to get the pedi out of me. Dignitaries, fellow contemporaries, media, I think all protocol observed. Can we give a round of applause to our celebrant for the night? Just stand up and give a round of applause, guys. Thank you. You may take your seats. I've never seen so many media houses in one space on a random Thursday night. Just goes to show your power. So don't look down on yourself, guys. It's very rare that we get to celebrate a fellow black South African. Portia has done so much for the sport of football in South Africa, and I think this is just the beginning of bigger and greater things for you. I wish blessings upon your life. I was going to talk about, the unholy waters that you guys got to imbibe as you came in here, but I don't think this is a perfect platform for me to do that. But I'm hoping that you enjoyed the drinks. Mine is just to... Oh, yeah. I'm not going to be like a typical Andile and drag on. But I just wanted to, from the Mzansi side, reward Portia with something that I know it might seem small, but the last time we actually did this type of presentation was 2 years ago for Kabza the Small, and in the past 2 years we've never done anything similar to this. So Portia, can you just come up here, man?
Portia.
This is a custom-made Magnum bottle. You can open it. Okay.
Yes.
So this is a custom-made 1.5 liter Mzansi Brut. With the name of Portia's book, From Portia with Love on the front. And at the back, we just thought we'd write a little message of congratulations. So we don't do this often. So yeah, we felt it fitting to do this for you, Portia, with lots of love from not just us as Simonsek, but I believe from South Africa.
Thank you.
Ngithanda ukubonga kakhulu for this gift. Abayibhekile ayivulwa ke le. I think I'll keep this for the longest time before I can open it. I think there will be a day where I'll feel good. I need to open and celebrate my freedom of speech.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
I'm sure there's a special occasion to which we will celebrate with this bottle. Could be Masambisi Nkomo.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You know, I think you tell it before Vala.
Ladies and gentlemen, they afforded us this beautiful venue and they were great in assisting with everything that needed to be done here. They went over and aboard to give us this beautiful scenery, the backdrop of an amazing story. They did it with love too. From LMG, the General Manager for Customer Experience, Public Relations and Marketing, a good friend of mine, please welcome Mr. Edward Makwana. His children right now are wondering where Daddy is. Thank you so much to you.
Ngiyabonga mfethu Andile. Tovela, Sanbonani, Molweni, Absheni. Or did I say it right? I'm not Shangana Kimopedi, so Tovela. First of all, just some acknowledgements. Let me acknowledge members of the media. I think, Andrew, you're spot on. It is quite remarkable to see so many media houses here today to support our legend. So, yeah, worth the recognition. And of course, our football legend and former Banyana Banyana captain. And I didn't know the FIFA ambassador part, so good to know. And her management team and her family, Mama Sagwamgela. I would also like to welcome all the distinguished guests from government. I saw some government names on the guest list. A guest from SAFA, Maria Ledoba, and other members of, people from the sporting fraternity and sporting organizations at large. And of course, partners, Simonsek, Andrew, and of course, my colleagues from Legacy Motor Group and here, BMW Joburg City. Thanks for all your hard work in putting this together and helping the teams to put this together. I think maybe just a little bit of who is this LMG that has been talked about, just so that you understand where we fit in. So Legacy Motor Group, we are a 100% black-owned automotive retail company in South Africa. Within the BMW network, we are actually the only black dealer owners. You know, which I think is a story for another day. But I think I could resonate with a lot of what we've been talking about here, about our legend, Portia. So within that structure, we own out of the 5 dealerships, we own 5 BMW dealerships. So we represent BMW. We are the agent of BMW. BMW Joburg City is one of the 5 dealerships. Then we have our flagship dealership, BMW Menlyn in Pretoria. And then we have BMW Montana. A lot of people know it as the old Zambezi BMW. So that is part of Legacy Motor Group. And then outside of Gauteng, we have another dealership in Bokodibu Perima, Rustenburg, or Northwest, BMW Rustenburg. And then we also have our 5th one being BMW Polokwane in my home province, Limpopo. So if you are from Polokwane and you happen to be in that side, support us. You know, come, let's help you get a BMW or a Mini, and so forth. And then we also have other businesses such as legacy or LMG pre-owned, so basically non-BMW brands. So basically if you come in to trade in another brand and you want to buy an X5, that non-BMW still needs to go to an owner somewhere who wants a car. So we look at that. And then we have another business called the LMG Approved Repair Center. So basically, if you're in an accident, your insurance companies would have us on their list of approved repair centers. It's also on our Montana campus. And then thirdly, a tire and rim business also on our Montana campus, really trying to make a mark in this automotive retail space as well. So I think a lot of you are also wondering why. Why the association with our football legend? I've just mentioned that we are 100% black-owned company. And, when we looked at Portia, we thought black excellence. It just resonates with us. We did not even hesitate. Maybe let me tell you the story of how this event came about. Andrew, we met somewhere as well. And then he said to me, listen, I've heard, you need to know this. Portia is launching a new book and so forth and so forth. And I said, look, without a doubt, let's do it. Let's do it. Because of this is black excellence. And again, I want to just also explain the brand that we represent, BMW. There are 4 pillars that, talk about the brand aura of BMW. The first one is sportiness. The second one is leadership. The third one is lifestyle. The fourth one is luxury. I think, having said that, there's 2 that also resonated with our association with Portia. Sportiness. I think also, you look at the brand BMW, it talks about dynamism. It talks about that sportiness. And here is someone who also resonates with that sportiness in football or in sport. I think secondly, this book really displays her leadership capabilities, which is also what BMW stands for in terms of leadership. There's a business term that a lot of the Germans use, and they say, disrupt or be disrupted. And she disrupted, what was going on, and said, I'm taking a leadership turn, and I want to make a difference. And even with this brand that we represent, it's all about taking leadership. Let me give you an example of this electric cars topic. That within, yes, there's Tesla and so forth, but BMW, is taking the leadership within this space because they're a future-oriented brand, looking ahead. And she's mentioned a really good point to say she's looking ahead to her nephews, her nieces, to say, in the future, when they want to follow her, she wants to have taken a step. So that's why we thought this is a no-brainer. Let's be her launch partner, which is why if you look at the back there, that is the car that we, I partnered with her and said, listen, so she's been driving in it. So she has been driving it since this week. She was meant to bring it back tomorrow, and I said to my colleague Catherine, just wave so that people see who you are. And Barbara, where's Barbara? Barbara there. Those are 2 dynamite ladies who, when we want to do something, they go all out. And we said, you know what? I think she can keep it until Monday. Doesn't have to come back tomorrow.
Monday, Edward. No.
Let me explain.
Monday.
Let me explain.
No.
Let me explain.
What's the date today? I mean, let's say May.
Let me explain. A lot of these times with events like this, we test the waters first. And as a retail company, we're not like the brand BMW from head office where they can sign a 1-year contract. But hey, anything's possible. So all I can say is this is the beginning of many journeys. So it's not going to stop here. Certainly, I can guarantee you that. So I'm not going to make a commitment here, but that's all I can say. Watch the space.
A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Feel at home, for the little bit of time that we have, and please stay safe. And like I said, please, when you looking to upgrade to a BMW or a Mini, come to us. And one thing I need to mention as well, we have this special rate for celebrities. And also if, say, you're buying a car as a company, we give you a certain percentage off to say, if you're buying in the name of your company or you belong to a professional organization like a doctors association and so forth, or celebrities again, and you have a certain number of followings, we give you a special rate. So our salespeople here, can I just ask all our BMW Joburg City salespeople, raise your hands up high so that they can just at least see where you are. They're all at the back. If you want to talk to them, if you want to talk to them, see what deal we can put together for you, so that you really join the world of shared driving pleasure. So that is that. I thought, let me just mention that as well. So thank you so much, Andile. Thank you so much, Posh, and
Thank you so much.
all the best. And keep showing us that leadership. And all the best. Thank you.
Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. You have customers galore here. If you're a former CEO of SAFA, you're a celebrity. If you're in this room somewhere at the back, you can go buy a BMW. If your surname, rhymes with Pasaletti, you can buy a BMW. You're a celebrity here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's only right. Uguti Mrs. Bala, Portia, but before that, you wrote the book alongside with her. Please, in closing.
It's been a pleasure to work with Portia Modise. She's a quintessential professional. I've learned a lot from her, how she conducts herself, how she acts. She always delivers. You're my hero. I've told you this before. I'm just grateful for you.
It makes sense now. When I was reading the book, labo quintessential bakhona lapana, and I was like, "Oh, Posh, utheni?" Sengiyabona manje ukuthi baphuma phi. Posh,
Nola.
we're all here because of you. Because we love you, we appreciate you. You've shared memories with us that will outlive what you did. When I think about what you did, it takes me back to a moment with a loved one. It's a hearty thing. What you did is in here, and we appreciate you for it. But in kuningi mina, sicela usivalele, usitetele.
Okay. Ngithanda ukubonga, to everyone that supported this event, showing the love. It's all about love. I believe with black people, we lost love amongst black people. We don't care about black people anymore. As long when you're okay, you don't care about the neighbors anymore. I believe good people today, black people, they could sleep without any other people. As long as their house, it's okay, they don't care about other people. So I think we need to go back to our culture, to take care of each other, make sure we save each other, because we know we're coming from disadvantaged families. When one make it, you need to remember where you come from, how many you left, that they still need help. It's not like they don't want to make it. They do want to make it, but they need that one to lift them up. Because now someone lift you up. So I always say, black child, you need to work hard, but black people, they don't open doors. Black child, they work hard, but black people open doors too. So we can see our hard work. But you expect us to work hard. And I just want to say, to the leaders out there, act like parents. Don't act like a position. Because you act like a position, you don't act like parents. It doesn't say when you have a position, you lose your humanity. You lose your sensitivity. You lose a ubuntu bakho uma une position. It doesn't say that. Have that position. But remember that you're still working nabantu. You still need ubuntu in order to see the results amongst kulabo bantu labo. You know? So I'm just saying, Joyce, ngiyabonga kakhulu njengomzali wami ukuthi ungiphe le opportunity yokuthi ngibe umuntu engifuna ukuba uwe and teach others ukuthi it's okay. They'll call us itabane. I want to put it so rudely. Ukuthi abantu they change their concept. Ukuthi asitabane thina. We are lesbian women proudly. And we're normal, we're not abnormal. And I want to thank Simon, to sponsor also my event. Please drink responsible and drive safe. I want to thank you, PM, for giving me the best ride ever, the opportunity, to showcase their car. While I was driving it today, I don't know when was the last time in Shaola Maflete Strategy. I felt like a slave queen. So I want to thank you so much, PM, for giving us this opportunity, to host this launch book on your place. And I want to thank my manager, me. I remember me when I met you, when I came to your brand. They were like, hey, you're bringing a problem. And I was like, no, I'm not a problem. They are not ready for the truth. That is why they're saying I'm a problem. And I remember when you tried to coach me how to take my interviews, I was like, don't coach me. I just want to tell the truth. Because you can't coach the truth. You can only coach the lies. So I was like, you can't coach me because I'm all about the truth. So I'm grateful because you took me the way I was. And they were Polish. And I'm very grateful on your team again, because without your team, truly, I'm very grateful of you, Joe. Dimpo, Anglali, making sure that I behave like an example, like a role model. I always make sure, Gucci, I don't disappoint you because I know the effort that you put. I want to thank my friends also, to be there. I remember when I was watching Orlando Pirates, when I used to see Lucky Lehuata Pande, I leader, I never thought Gucci he will be my friend. Today we'll play in the same team. Umbuza ngintwembu. Slaga. To have a brother like you, Slaga, taking me in, fight for my fights. I need to be amongst men, play with them, and making sure you're breaking those chains. You're not talking too much, but allowing me to be in your space. You broke those chains. You showed women also they could be powerful in the men's space. I have a captain also too, Abati Okarabo. Please, Karabo Nkelupagam. The way it's so difficult to live the game. Even when we're older, we still have our own leaders in the game, and I respect you, Karabe, as my leader, because I was once a leader too. So I want to thank also, my girlfriend, because those are the people that you don't want us to talk about them, and it's so unfortunate we'll have to talk about them, because they are part of our lives. When you're not paying me, when it's going to work to get paid, it buys me that toiletry that when I will finish in the camp. They take care of us. They make sure we look the part. we look good. When you see me looking good all the time, it's not the suffers money. Abang patalang. It's my girlfriend's money. So, I will say thank you, sweetheart, Kopan. Ngicela uphakame. Ngiyazi muhlu andile inhliziyo yakhe ibhlungu yenza so. So I hope that you guys will support the book. You know, I always say, Gucci, I would love to see myself getting married. I'm not young, I'm 39. I am normal, I do treat myself normal. My life at home is very normal. We have a young daughter. You know, it doesn't say, Gucci, when we're lesbian, we don't have kids. Nina niyabashiya abantwana, we pick up them. We make good parents. So, I'm just saying, Gucci, I hope one day you guys will buy my book so I can get married. I do want to get married. I want to show people, Gucci, our life is really normal. It's not crazy. And thank you. Enjoy the evening.
A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important. How do we buy the book?
Okay.
Yeah.
How do we buy the book? Because it's not one of those that you get into a store, and just get. How do we buy the book?
All right, so you can download the book. You buy it on your. It's a book app. So you buy it on Android. It's on the Android store, or you can buy it on your. If you've got an Apple mobile, you buy it on the iOS store. Yes, as simple as that. You just download it and then you pay for it as usual as all your app purchases.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for. In closing, William Shakespeare said, and you laughed a lot tonight. He said, "Many a truth is told in jest." We laughed because she made the truth easy for us to hear. Terribly sorry. Somebody please assist there. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a big round of applause and let's say goodnight. Thank you to Portia Modise from Portia Modise with love. A very good evening, good night, drive safely, mingle and be merry. Take lots of pictures with her. We're out of here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, that's